is that the inquiry, the 7-year national inquiry that was undertaken by Alexis J, that was into child sex abuse and child sex exploitation right across the board. And it was shocking, the findings were shocking. It did also include grooming gangs, and there were very many high-profile cases where groups of men, predominantly of Pakistani heritage, were convicted of sexually abusing and raping mainly white girls in the UK, in a number of towns across the country. But her inquiry went broader than that. And what the Conservatives are asking for is a national inquiry looking specifically at these cases of grooming gangs and whether there is a pattern happening across the UK. That is different. You accept that because otherwise you wouldn't be having these local inquiries happening in a number of towns. So why not a national inquiry into that specifically?
Well, Baroness J's inquiry was a wide-reaching inquiry.
It covered everything.
Very thorough. It took 7 years, and it did cover everything. But one of the things that Louise Casey is looking at in her inquiry is that issue of ethnicity, and I think that's right that she does that. It's also important that local inquiries can take place, and that might look different in different areas. In some of those, they may be things like victims panels, for example, and it's important to work with victims in those areas to make sure that what the local inquiry looks like reflects what victims are calling for locally.
I mean, Kemi Badenoch says it's personal to her, this issue. I'm sure it's personal to many, many people. It's also something that previous Conservative governments could have done themselves. Why it's become such a cause célèbre now in opposition is mysterious and curious. You also didn't implement many of the recommendations, if any of them, from Alexis J.
It's indefensible not having an inquiry. There is no way in the world that this will stand. A national inquiry is needed. We know an awful lot more now than we did then, Joe. That's fair to say.
In a matter of a year?
Well, we did much on this. Commissioning the original inquiry from Alexis J. The solutions to that, the recommendations to that were being implemented. We also put in place, yes they were, you know they take time, these things take time.
Which ones were implemented?
Well, one thing we did, which is very, very important, is the Grooming Gangs Task Force, which made hundreds of arrests and many prosecutions. That's what people want to see. But underlying this, and you're right to say, the Alexis J inquiry did not look at the specifics around